Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Ironman. Last video, we did our first ever full DKs task. I did just AFK solo Rex a long time ago, but this was my first time actually doing a solo tribe or DKs, and this is what the collection log is looking like for DKs. And then later on, we also got a Grotesque Guardians task, which we had no uniques for in the past. And then this was the second task, and we got two uniques from it. We got the Black Tourmaline Core and the Granite Ring, both of which I did not keep on the accounts. From the Grotesque Guardians task, we also ended up making 5.5k Addy darts. I don't have the blowpipe on me, unfortunately, but that puts the blowpipe up to over 10,000 darts now, which is actually really good timing because it sets us up really well for what I want to do next. Because during that Grotesque Guardians task, we also got 95 Slayer, which means we can now kill Hydra. In the past, I've just been using Duradel for Slayer and then using Konar for every 50th task. But from here on out, as long as I feel like doing Hydra and I don't get too burnt from it, the plan is going to be using Konar for every single Slayer task that we get. Because Konar is the only Slayer Master that can assign Hydra. All of our stuff right now is in his Spory, and I was just looking through the stacks of stuff that we have here. And I think before we start back onto the Slayer grind, we need to make some more range pots, especially because I want to kill Hydra. So we do have all these Wines of Zamorak, a little bit from Serb, and then mostly from Calphite Queen. And then we have a lot of Dwarf Wheat as well. So I'll probably just make a few hundred for now, at least. Oh yeah, one more thing that we got done last video is that because we finally killed the DKs, that was the last task that we needed for the Fremnik Elite Diary. So we got the Elite Diary done for that as well. Not really relevant exactly to what we're doing now. I think 400 will be good for now. The thing that reminded me of that was because we have the Desert Elite Diary done now, so I can just use the amulet here to teleport to Narda. But yeah, we got quite a few Elite Diaries done now, so we could pretty much go and do this anytime, but I just feel like doing Slayer, man. And then for anyone who's just starting the series now or have missed a lot of episodes, the point where we're at now in the account is just doing Slayer, pretty much just constantly doing Slayer, with the main goal being just finishing the collection log as much as possible for all the Slayer bosses, which is pets, jars, and everything else. Really, pets are my favorite thing to get, but even just filling up all the other slots in the collection log is still really nice for me. But we're gonna make these 400 ranging potions, and I'll see you back when we're done. All right, so we got the 1200 doses of range pot made. And that is 65k Herbal XP, averaging over 200k XP per hour, which definitely could be higher. Luckily, getting to Konar is really fast because we have the Radha's Blessing 4, which gives us unlimited teleports to Mount Karulm, which takes us a very short run to the Slayer Master, who is right over here. So the only tasks we'll be getting will be from Konar, and here's the very first task. Okay, so I'm not going to be skipping every task, but I will be skipping more than I usually would. So I'll definitely do fast tasks like this one, but when I get assigned things that, might be slightly annoying that usually I would just power through, I'll just skip them now because we do currently have 2.4k points available for skipping. Unlike all the other Slayer Masters, she actually gives you a specific location where you have to kill that monster. I think because of that, you generally aren't able to do as much bossing when you're doing Konar Slayer, but we're just here for Hydra. That's the main goal, to get a task for that. But we got our looting bag, we got the inventory all nice and clean and organized. Let's go start Slayer. Yeah, like you could see here, the waiting for all the different monsters. Here's Hydra waiting of 10, which I think is one of the highest ones on here. But for example, if you get a Hellhounds task and you have to kill them in Witch Haven, or you're assigned the Catacombs, for example, you can't just go do Serb. Or if you get Greater Demons, you can't just go do Zami because you're assigned the exact spot you have to kill them in. Another thing about doing Konar Slayer is that you can see right here on the wiki, you get more points per task. So if you have the Kebos Elite Diary done, you get even more points per task. So one task with Konar is 20, and then Duradel is 15. And then you can see the milestone reward points are even more of a difference, which is why in the past, I've always tried to do Konar for every 50th. For the most part, I put in all the things I know for sure I won't need for Hydra, because even if we do get any boss tasks that we could kill a boss for, I'm not going to. I just want to rush through all these tasks and get to Hydra as soon as possible, preferably without wasting too many Slayer points. He wants to rush through his Slayer tasks, says the guy meleeing Dust Devils. It's not really easy to burst for a UIM, okay? Especially when you don't have an Ancient Staff or a Wand or anything. Okay, check this out. Right now in his Spory, we have 2 pieces of the Dark Totem, the bottom and the middle. So once we kill this Choke Devil, that should give us the top, even though the other 2 are in his Spory. Yeah, look at that. Alright, we can go kill Skatizo right now. This is such a weird, random, specific piece of UIM knowledge to know. 14 KC. I just dropped these over to the main, and I was looking at the main account's inventory. This is from the Grotesque Guardians task. All those crystal keys, dude. Calphite in the task only Calphite Hive I could use my Desert Amulet 4 to get straight there. You can tell I'm really trying hard this video to flex my diaries. Okay, we got a hard clue from the Heckhounds. Oh, we got it. Hydras, alright. I'm actually kind of busy eating right now, but I'll see you back once we're getting ready for the task. Oh yeah, another perk of doing Konar Slayer I forgot to mention is you get the Brimstone Keys, which you can use to open the chest. And the drop rate of the keys, it depends on what monster you're fighting. On average, it's probably like 1 out of 100 or something. You get some pretty alright loot. I think on average, it comes out to like 100k GP per key. Okay, for the spec, I'll be using the blowpipe, so we don't need the SGS. I'm gonna high alch the Dragon Battle Axe because we need that for the stash unit with the Dragon Defender, and we can just buy this back whenever we're ready to put it back in the stash. Normally, in the Karum Slayer dungeon, you have to wear either Boots of Stone or the Brimstone Boots. But with the Kebos Elite Diary done, which we do have done by the way, you can wear any boots you want. Unfortunately, we never did end up getting Rangers. I still just have the Pegasian Crystal. So we'll just be wearing the next best thing, the Blessed Boots. Which are still nice though because they do have the +1 prayer bonus. Now the Range Cape versus the Ava's Assembler depends on what your gear is, because sometimes the Assembler adds a max hit. Either way though, I don't have the Vorkath head added to the Range Cape, which we probably should maybe get done at some point. But I'll just be wearing the Assembler because we have it anyways. There's a couple things I want to keep track of. The first thing is I want to see how much money we make from Hydra. You can see right now I just put all the money into Nightmare Zone and there's about 24.7 mil GP. So we'll start with like nothing in the inventory. And with Hydra, there's a massive amount of alchables and a massive amount of straight up GP that you get from the boss. So we're going to see this cash stack become very, very big. And then the other thing I want to keep track of is the prayer XP. And after each trip, I'll just be using the Hydra Bones on the Gilded Altar in the POH. I'm not going to light burners or anything. It's not worth the time getting Marintils just for that. This is just what UIMs generally do. After each Hydra trip, you just use the bones on the unlit Gilded Altar and then go back to Hydra again. Now Hydra apparently drops a lot of noted dragon bones, and that is going to be a different story. I will be keeping those. What do we want most from this boss? Well, I'll put the unique drop table up on the screen. The number one drop that I would like to get is the Hydra Claw, which is used to make the Dragon Hunter Lance, which if you didn't know is a very strong melee weapon that is good against dragons. You combine the Hydra's Claw with the Zami Hasta, and then you get the lance. The 3 pieces at the top of the drop table, you always get in order before you start getting duplicates, and those 3 pieces form the Brimstone Ring, which is pretty much a tribrid ring for all combat styles. And I've been debating whether or not I want to keep it if we do end up getting it, and the answer is probably going to be no because it's too niche for me, and I'll explain that like if we actually get the ring done. The Hydra Tail makes the Bone Crusher necklace, which you also need the Dragon Bone necklace from Vorkath, so that's not something that we're going to have. And then the Hydra Leather makes the Ferocious Gloves, which is the best in slot melee gloves, which I don't know if I'd keep or not. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. There's Hydra Heads for the Slayer Helm, which I also wouldn't make. And then the Jar, 1 out of 2k, and the Pet, 1 out of 3k. And this probably isn't a bad boss to go dry at because all the general loot you get is just so good with all the money you make. Granted, we don't really need much money at this point in the account, but I think it'd just be fun to see the cash stack go up. So we use the teleport on the Rada's Blessing 4, and this is where it takes us to, and I'll just show you the route to get to Hydra. Because we have 88 agility, we have access to this shortcut here. This is actually the second highest agility requirement for any shortcut in the game, this pipe right here. It's not a big deal if you don't have it, you just have to run around that way and you might tank like 1 or 2 hits from the baby Hydras, which isn't really a big deal, but if we're gonna theoretically be here for like hundreds, if not maybe even like 1,000+ kills, we may as well have the shortcut unlocked. And then it takes us straight over here. And Hydra is an instance, so we're gonna be the only one in there. Items will stay on the ground indefinitely. And if we die, we can reclaim our items over here from this guy for 100k GP. I've kinda sorta done this boss, but not really. The only time I have fought Hydra before was in Twisted League, and it was pretty scuffed because I had an RCB with Broad Bolts, there was no Slayer Helm, and I didn't have any PVM perks. And I only did 25 kills, which was like one of the requirements for the task. So looks like I still have some of these tiles marked here, but I don't really know the boss. We're going to be pretty much learning on this account. I think my kills were like 4 or 5 minutes on Twisted League, so I'm sure it's going to be much better on here with like all these perks that we have. Theoretically, you're supposed to need almost no food at Hydra, but because I'm new and I'll pretty much be learning as we go, I have a lot of food and not as much prayer as I may have later on. That actually might be too much prayer for me right now, but let's just head on in there. get our first Hydra kill, get our first trip done, and I guess once I get comfortable, I'll start showing you like some things I learn as I'm figuring stuff out. I'm excited though, I've been looking forward to this since the start of the account. Okay, first ever Hydra kill didn't go as smooth as I thought it would go, but we should probably actually leave right now and get some more food. We also unlocked the new music track, Alchemical Attack. You don't actually have to have Hydra unlocked or even have the Slayer level to go in there just for the music track if you are going for the music cape. How much perk speed do we get from these on the Gilded Altar? It's 275. Yeah, that's a pretty bad time. I need to like learn how to lure it better. Yeah, 5 minutes. I need to get better at luring it. Because like when you put it over the proper vent, its defense goes down based on like what color it is. Yo, virtual range level at Hydra. Okay, that was a lot smoother. We only used 3 food that time. Okay. Yeah, starting to get it kind of. 2.5 minutes, new PB. Nope. Okay, 2 kill trip. Only 2 food used this kill. Oh, did I do it? Oh, I did it, yes. That was the fire skip. Holy alchables from that kill. Okay, I feel like I'm starting to get like the basics of it down now. Like I could kind of make it through without struggling too hard. That was a PB as well. And 3 kill trip too. So I think I'll start bringing 4 prayer pots now because I just had 3 before. Hydra also does drop death runes, and the rune pouch right now is almost full of death runes. We have almost 16k. So I'm going to sell off a few thousand just so once we do get those death rune drops, I won't have to worry about taking up extra inventory space. Yo, this whole kill, I didn't eat any food, no blowpipe spec. Oh man, I feel like, I know it's only been a few kills, but I feel like I'm really getting the hang of this. 2 kills in a row without needing food, without needing the blowpipe spec. I guess, ooh, wow. I guess after this kill, I could start bringing more prayer pots and less food. I don't know what it is, like something just clicks after a couple tries, and then now I just suddenly have the boss down. I don't know like why, but it's such a really satisfying feeling. What was it, like a 4 kill trip now? Yeah, I mean, you can see all the sharks on the ground. Would have lasted a lot longer if I brought more prayer pots. Oh man, that's a really good feeling. Oh yeah, there's the Dragon Battle Axe back for the stash unit. Not really. Woot, we got the elite casket here. Alright, let's take a look at what we got. Yeah, it's like getting more Hydra loot. Not only did I not eat food or use a blowpipe spec this kill, I took 0 damage. Really the only... Never mind. The only damage you should take would be on the first hit. Okay, well, it's official. I don't really need food at Hydra, so I will be bringing a lot of prayer pots from here on out. Was it like 6 kills this trip, I think? Oh yeah, so you see all the dragon bones here? That's gonna be really nice. I legit just do not have space for all these bones, so before we leave here I have to just like bury a few because I'm just about to spawn. Oh my. Oh, that must have been such a good time. Let's see a PV. 222. Wow, that could have been 17 pets, bro. There's been quite a lot of comments of people asking me to show examples of the full fights of the bosses, so I figure now that I can kill Hydra, I'm excited to show you. And I figure a lot of people have probably never fought Hydra due to its requirement of 95 Slayer, so hopefully this will give you some insight. Theoretically, the only damage you should take from Hydra is the first hit, because you don't know if Hydra's going to be using a mage attack or a range attack to start off. You can see I just got lucky here with the right prayer. And what Hydra does is uses range and mage, 3 attacks of each, and then switches back and forth between the 2. Hydra has a special attack for each phase that does after 3 attacks into each new phase. Like in this phase, you could see that it spit out poison. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to get Hydra onto the proper vent just for a second until it roars, and that lowers its defense for that phase, and it's pretty much like the Pokemon combat triangle. Red weakens green, green weakens blue, and blue weakens red. Once again, 3 attacks into the next phase, Hydra does its next special, which is the blue lightning. Not to be confused with white lightning, Cider, which you may or may not find me passed out with at RuneFest next year. Once Hydra spawns the lightning that's closest to you, you want to start running to the next vent, because you've already lowered Hydra's defense from the green one for this phase. But you don't want to actually get it on the blue vent yet, because if it's on the wrong vent for that phase, that makes it stronger. By the way, there is a way to skip the lightning in the corner, but I haven't been able to figure that out yet. But then once Hydra turns red, you can lure it onto the blue vent. And once again, after 3 hits into this phase, it'll do its special for this phase, which is the flames. I showed myself doing my first flame skip earlier, and you'll see it again here because I pretty much have it down every single try. And without the skip, you either have to walk away from Hydra spitting flame at you, or you can be tick perfect and hit Hydra in between each ball of fire, and that's not fun to do. It's kind of hard to explain the timing of the flame skip, but once you've started doing Hydra, you just like, even if you don't know how to count the ticks, you kind of just get a feel for when it's about to do its next attack. And I think it's like you run to the other tile on the tick that Hydra would be doing its attack. Then once it switches to its last phase, it starts swapping attacks every single hit instead of every 3. And the first attack of the phase will always be the opposite of what its last attack was before it switched phases. Its special attack for this phase is once again the poison pools, so after 3 hits, just run 2 tiles away and you're good. And for the rest of the fight, you just keep swapping your prayers back and forth, and if the fight lasts a while, just make sure you keep dodging the poison every 9 hits. I brought 7 prayer pots and I got 8 kills. So I guess on average I use like 4 doses of prayer pot per kill. And I guess I could bring more prayer pots and technically bring no food, but I definitely do make quite a few mistakes still. So having some food as that little buffer is nice. Oh yeah, we got PB that last trip as well, 214. Wow, beat the PB by 1 second, 213. Whenever I have items that have a decent alch value, like for example these Dragonstone Bolts E, but they're maybe not worth the time alching, you can sell them for a decent price to Martin Thwaite's shop instead of dropping over to the main, because the shop here buys them initially for alch value, then the price does go down a bit from there. But then I save time and the cost of the nature rune as well. You can also buy them back on the main account for really cheap. For example, here's the main account and here's the shop interface, and I could buy these for 106 GP each. And then if I do buy these, you can see I spend 33k to buy them. If I sell them to the GE, they'd sell for 72k. So I am technically missing out on a bit of money on this account, but the money I miss out on, I earn on the UIM. 50kc means we are now ranked on the high scores for Alchemical Hydra. This is gonna be a 10 kill trip. I've not been able to pick up any bones, so after this kill I'm just gonna like, right, even now I should probably just start burying all these because I will not have space for them. But we did get a super restore supply drop, which helped a lot. And the trip lasted so long because I got a super restore supply drop, so that extended it by a couple kills. Dude, this Onyx Bolt E drop is worth 400k. I mean, I'm just gonna high alch them because they alch for 9,000 GP each. Holy. Dragon Fruit Tree Seeds, 400k value. 208. Dude, I was gonna plant these dragon fruit tree seeds, but I've been thinking about it. 200k each, like, I'd rather just have the money on the main than like a tiny bit of farming XP on this account. It's so easy to get passive farming XP anyways, just from General Slayer, so we'll probably eventually get 99 anyways. Hello? Hello? Fuck. It's annoying. Yeah, I'm definitely dead, but it's the first time dying here. I don't know if you actually count that or not. Wait, what? Wait. Huh? Oh, it must have like just gone to the flame phase because it was like busy walking over there, I guess. Okay, this trip was like extremely long. I got 3 drops of super restores. Let me figure out how to try to count this. 14 kill trip. Wait, we just got the first like unique drop, Hydra heads. I saw like so many things in the chat box, I even noticed it for a while. Wait, back to back, we just got another unique that I tried. It's the first piece of the ring. Huh, yeah, that was back to back, interesting. Okay, I've said this before, but the only Slayer helm I want to get on this account would be the Vorkath one, because you could store a Vorkath head in there, meaning you could in a way like store an assembler. And the only uses besides making that into the Slayer helm would be we can mount it in the POH, which I don't really care about. I'll probably end destroying that room anyways where I have the KQ head mounted. Or we could turn it into the Dark Altar for 2.5k prayer XP. Okay, so that is going to be 2.5k prayer XP, and then with the eye, I'll probably end up alching it at the end of the task if we don't finish the ring. It's also untradeable, so it has to stay in the inventory, which is a little bit annoying, but we will make do. Okay, and this kill will put us at 100kc at the Alchemical Hydra. This was a ridiculously fast kill. This has to be a PB. There's no way it's not. 203. I don't think I'll be able to beat a sub 2 minute, but that's still like really nice. Well, just got a 18 kill trip. I don't know if there's like any way to prove it, but yeah, that was a lot of super restore drops. Then we got Hard Clue from Hydra. Wait, I think that's the first Rune Heraldic Shield. Wait, that's actually a really good thing. We need that for that one step on the pyramid, right? Yeah, we have no Rune Heraldic Shields. That's the first one in 128 hard clues. Oh, there's actually 2 steps. Also, there's one in the Karazi jungle, another hard clue. So I guess I'll leave it in here for now because there's 2 separate steps that we need it for. And then once we get a second one, then I'll just build both of those stash units. Oh, we have to get a stole as well for the Karazi jungle one. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. What is this, dude? This is what I mean. I can never leave this place. 4 friggin' super restores. Yo, it's a good time to get the gamer warning. The 5-minute log from being online for 6 hours. We have 1 more trip of Hydra left to do. Just 8 more kills and then we can wrap everything up. I think after the next trip, I'll just show you all the XP I gained today just so you could like have an idea of a day in the life of killing Hydra all day long. Wait, just got a Hydra tail. Yeah. Alright, the task is finally done. 142 kills of the Alchemical Hydra boss. Okay, and what do we have to show for it? Okay, so I want to show all the XP that we gained today. So I guess while doing Hydra, we averaged like 75k range XP per hour, 19k Slayer XP per hour. You got like 40k prayer XP today, the cooking XP from cooking sharks, some farming and herblore XP from some of the things that we planted from Hydra. Yeah, today's been a very, very big day for Hydra, I guess. So I went back in the clip and looked at what we started with for darts and scales, and I wrote it in the chat box down here. Then we could compare that to how much we have left over now. Okay, I just did the math. Apparently we used 27 darts and then 67 scales this task. And then I just did the math again. Apparently I averaged 19 darts per kill is what I lost, and then 66 scales per kill. So this Hydra tail here, 1 out of 513 drop for the Bone Crusher necklace. But I'll never get the thing from Vorkath, nor would I want to keep it on me anyway. So I'm going to alch that for 60k. And then we also got 1 piece of the ring here, which I'm also going to alch because we are going to be going back to Duradel Slayer because the UIM bingo starts tomorrow. And it wouldn't really make sense to do Konar Slayer for the tiles that I'll be doing. But yeah, theoretically, if we did get the full ring, I could drop it over to the main, and I'd be like, I think it's 3.7 mil right now. But unfortunately, the individual pieces are not tradable, and their high out value is just 60 GP, and there's nothing else we can do with it. So, yeah. And from the task, we had a couple mil worth of items dropped over to the main. The Ferox Enclave just came out right now with this update, so let's check it out. Okay, so this isn't really relevant for UIM, it's mostly just a Wildy update. But they moved Last Man Standing and Clan Wars to a hub in the Wildy. That is safe, by the way, but once you leave the hub, it's all dangerous around there. I also really like that they named the pub the Old Night Pub. That's a reference to a RuneScape player who played like 15 years ago. He was competing for rank 1 against Zezima and Lil Yuffie back in like 2006 or something, and he unfortunately passed away from cancer. But apparently he was a very highly respected member of the community and just a really friendly guy all around. So I think it's really nice they made that tribute to him. If you Google like the Old Knight interview or just look up the Old Knight, there's a lot of really nice stories about him, so I'd recommend checking it out. You can also pay 5 mil GP to make the Ferox Enclave your respawn point, just like how Edgeville also has that 5 mil cost. Okay, there's very high risk worlds, Rev Caves, they changed something with the bracelets, I don't really care about that, Bounty Hunter. You know, hopefully they're making some good PvP updates, because Lord knows they need it. And then nothing really notable in the other news either. Maybe now it'll be easier to flick the minions in God Wars at the end of each kill because their attack animation isn't interrupted anymore. If you go to the map here, we can type in Ferox Enclave. So here it is, it'll teleport you over here. You can like zoom out a little bit as well so you can see exactly where it's at. And then over here where Clan Wars used to be, there's now this little section, which I don't know if that changes like any metas for free to play Ironman or free to play UIM or something, because there appears to be a mining location and a smithing location right over here. And I don't know if there are or if they plan on adding any monsters here or anything else, but this spot could be interesting, I don't know. Anyways, back to talking about Hydra. I was averaging I think like 11 kills per hour at the start, but once I started getting more confident and getting those really long trips, it's probably closer to like 13, 14 kills per hour near the end. So this whole task probably took like, I'd say 12 hours to do. So here's the loot from 142 Hydra. And I mean, you can just see right here, there's so many great alchables, like all these rune items, dragon items, shield left halves, dragon spears, mystic staves, and all this came out to almost 8.2 million GP in just straight up cash. And if you remember, we started with essentially 0 GP in the inventory. I really don't think I'll ever have to worry about GP on this account ever again, because we just don't have that many more things to spend it on, which is a good thing because I really like flexing the money and I like having that safety net of knowing I can just fill up my trident anytime I want to, or buy as many runes for whatever I need them for. Make upgrades to the POH. If I want to get a Zenite, I could easily just buy an Onyx with Chaos runes, etc. And just from this task, the range XP we gained was 755k, and then the prayer XP was 54k just from the Hydra bones I buried / used on the altar. And we got 480 dragon bones, which I'll probably use up pretty soon. And our UIM Hydra rank is rank 110. Here's the collection log. I guess we already had dragon throne axes from a long time ago, not from killing Hydra. We've got 4 out of 11 slots filled. The PB at Hydra was 203. I'm so glad that we got rigor before we're doing this. This prayer is just so good for so many things in the game. You know, the goal I laid out in episode 1 of this series is to learn new things about this game that I've known and played for most of my life, and I always try to hit that goal in every video, and today we definitely did hit that goal. Because like honestly, trying to fight Hydra just, I don't know, it suddenly clicks, and it's such a good feeling when it does. It's a good feeling learning a new boss after doing it for the first time. But anyways, UIM bingo starts later today, so at the start of the next video we have a few things to do to like kind of prepare for it in a way, I guess. And we'll be going back to Daredevil Slayer for the next couple weeks, so a lot of fun stuff and bossing and all that to look forward to. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.